My name is Beverly Greet. I am 72 years old and I was diagnosed in November 84. Well, it was quite a shock because I'd heard about a thing called GRID that was happening in the gay male community in the States. So I was very shocked that me as a woman would have HIV. And I also was worried about my son, who they'd asked to bring in to be tested, and luckily he wasn't positive. But I also had fears about, we were told not to have any more children, and that was sad, yeah. Well, I thought I was the only woman in the world with HIV, and I went on a quest to look for other women with HIV. I knew gay men, and I joined a gay men's support group, but I was the only woman, so I felt very isolated. So I was determined to meet up with other positive women and put notices up everywhere, and it wasn't until 3 years later that I met another positive woman. Well, as I said to my GP and HIV specialist, I feel that HIV as a health issue for me is the least of my problems. I'm now having health conditions that are for older people, and I never thought I'd get to the point where I'd be having such things as other issues like diabetes, cardiovascular disease, some which are effects from the treatment, but some from the HIV as well. So ageing is interesting because, as Bette Davis says, old age is no place for sissies. But I don't feel survivor's guilt when I know a lot of people have died from the virus. I'm enjoying my older age, and particularly because I now have the pleasure of having 2 wonderful granddaughters, which I never thought would happen. I quit about 2 years ago, November, and it was as a result of the cardiovascular surgeon said I had blockages in my arteries in my leg and I'd have to have a stent put in, but they would not do it unless I gave up smoking. So that was the impetus. I actually went and saw a hypnotherapist, and from that one session I stopped smoking and haven't smoked since. But unfortunately, when I've gone back and saying, well, I'm not smoking now, can you do the procedure? They've said, well, now you have to lose 10 kilos, and them not understanding about lipodystrophy and that the weight from that area cannot go away easily. So I'm still waiting for this stent to occur. Since I've given up smoking, I must say that I can breathe better, I can sing better, I'm in a singing group, and I can walk better. It's just changed my life for the better generally after having been a smoker for probably 55 years solid. Stigma means to me people making assumptions or judgments around your lifestyle once you say that you're HIV, and so may be prejudiced against. So unfortunately one has to sort of keep it a secret from certain people in case of the negative responses that you receive. So, but I make sure that I go to healthcare providers that are safe spaces and are well versed in HIV, and that hopefully the stigma isn't there. But in so saying, only last year someone asked me, it was a physiotherapist actually, asked me how long I'd been HIV, and I said, well, since 1984. And then she said to me, how do you get it? Well, we know it doesn't matter how you get it. And I was really sort of blown out that in 2022 they're still asking the questions, how do you get it? And I did tell her that, you know, like most people, through sexual content, but her response was, oh, I only asked you that question because you were diagnosed so early. You must have been one of the innocent ones that was had haemophilia or something. So I actually walked out on that session. What's been really positive is, as a co-founder of Positive Women Victoria, I've seen that group grow, and the peer support that it offers. And on our retreats or our lunches and that, it's an opportunity for us to feel in a safe place where there's no stigma and that we can support each other. And I think that's been one of the most positive things in my life in relation to HIV, is to meet not only locally, nationally, but internationally positive people and be able to share and support each other. Well, I think they need to be educated, particularly around issues like U equals U, and there is no need to be fearsome of getting it. And also, I think the stigma is a result of ignorance, so I think education is definitely still needed this day to healthcare providers to show that you know, anyone can get HIV and how important it is to support those people. Well, talk to management, talk to the staff, you know, bring everyone else on board that what the situation really is, and there is no need for such prejudice and discrimination, that anyone can have HIV and it doesn't matter how you got it. Well, it's better than the alternative of not being an older person. And for me personally, being older, I feel like I'm older and wiser. And also one of the greatest joys in my life is my grandchildren. So that's a wonderful thing. And I've also been in a 35-year relationship where we've got older together, and that's been really good to support each other and advocate for each other. I don't feel, as I said before, I don't feel survivor's guilt, but there isn't a day that goes by that I don't think of people who have gone before, many people, and so I would say that I'm constantly aware of my sense of grief and loss of so many young, talented, beautiful people. I think how people can make the best of years to come is exercise. Because I do aquarobics once or twice a week, and I think to try and keep fit and healthy. Also, it's very important to keep engaged and connected with community, whether it be the HIV community or the community that you sing with or whatever, and staying positive, not thinking that negative. Always, well, trying to always see a glass half full rather than glass half empty. Yeah.